right? So for teachers, it's high-stake testing tied to teacher assessment. And what we have then is public services being commodified and seen as basically widget making, okay? So you put them in this production line and you go and time everything, and then what the product comes out is, yay, we've got a client, not a human being, not a student, not a person who was suffering that you healed, but we have a client who's paid. So this kind of framework is what neoliberalism imposed for 40 years. So instead of thriving communities and cities and life, what we had was, for 40 years, a tyranny of things. And this is, well, I can't spell tyranny, so this is, but in general, so this is the bad news that I gave you so far, okay? But all of you in this room know that within these structures of tyranny and oppression and widget counting and money grubbing, there exist seeds of solidarity, collaboration, and therefore resistance. So I want to argue here, not just in this room, but going forward, that we see care work as a political response to neoliberal austerity. Our jobs, by their very nature, challenge the logic of austerity. We refuse absolutely to go with the logic of austerity by very much just by doing our jobs, okay? So care work is in itself the antithesis of austerity policies, okay? So we should see our work as a political response to austerity. Now, what neoliberalism left us with was boarded up neighborhoods, flourishing pawn shops, people without work sitting on stoops, okay? And in those communities, often care work, a hospital, a school, are actually the efforts to heal the injuries of this community, to heal the injuries of class. So we should see care work primarily as a work that reduces the hidden injuries of class and tries to heal them. And this is why every single fight for a hospital not to be closed, for a school not to be closed, for clean water in our communities are ultimately anti-capitalist struggles because they challenge the logic of the neoliberal system. And this is why now, for the final thing, we should not be surprised that in the last 10 years or so, we have seen why women-led struggles have erupted globally against austerity. This is precisely the reason for that. I'm just going to give you a few examples of this, okay? 1, Argentina, mass strikes by women against gender violence. 2, Ireland and Bolivia, Cochabamba, mass movements women-led against water privatization. India struggles by lower caste sanitation workers, mostly women, for better pay. Standing Rock, mass struggle women-led of First Nation peoples against pipelines. The USA, wave of strikes of teachers and nurses. And finally, we have the phenomenon of the International Women's Strike, which basically is a grassroots movement globally of women striking on March 8th, which is expressed as a general strike in many countries, such as Spain. Last March 8th, they closed down the entire country. So we can see now why these strikes, led by women, are erupting across the globe in this last phase of the neoliberal assaults and attacks. We can see why these strikes, because these are struggles and strikes that assert the making of life, water, healthcare, public transport, education, the making of life over the making of things. So finally, we come to what we are going to talk about today, which is insurrectionary feminism. And I want to say something very briefly about choke points, okay? A lot of sociology and a lot of organizing in recent times in the left and in unions have focused on the logistics industry. That these are the choke points of capitalism, and we should organize there, and we can shut the system off, right? Amazon, our comrades in Amazon and so on, which is absolutely right. But there is no reason why we shouldn't see schools and hospitals as choke points capable of shutting the system down as well. Woo! As I said, if you shut down all the schools and hospitals in this city of San Francisco, ladies and gentlemen, the city will not function. Not one millionaire can make the city run. We should also understand that sexism is a tool in the neoliberal toolbox for wages and benefit cuts. Our wages and benefits are cut in the name of gender, that we shouldn't be paid enough as much as men and so on. But we should also remember that these workspaces are sites to share scripts of resistance. We talk to each other. They should know this. We talk to each other, we build solidarity with each other, and we have conferences like this in order to understand how to organize most effectively. That's the kind of work that women also do, besides the work of paid and unpaid labor. We build networks and we build solidarity. Woo! This new wave of struggle by women, we should understand, is finally breaking down the unhelpful division between class struggle and feminist struggle, because these are feminist class struggle, okay? These are anti-capitalist feminist struggles which are challenging the logic of the system. We should look at what the essence of these struggles are, that while many of these struggles are about privatization and the cutting of wages, etc., but it is actually about questioning neoliberalism and restoring care back into our lives, our communities, and back into our planet. This is what these struggles are about. Now, this kind of politics, the politics of putting life-making before profit-making, giving primacy to life-making work, that kind of politics is going to rub against the imperatives of profit-making. It just is, because we are asking for reduced hours. We don't want to make useless commodities. So our kind of politics is going to challenge the politics of profit-making. So it is going to challenge that the state reduces its carceral functions, instead invests in life functions. No more prisons, more hospitals. Woo! And this is why, comrades, I'm going to end here with this one thing that we need to keep in mind as we go forward, that this is why, if we want to practice this politics of life-making, organizing for this politics of life-making, we need unions and workplace organization and community organization at every arena of our lives. Thank you.